Yeah, what's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Trackman for coming through and moosing up your man, the YB's gambling habit. You best believe it. Replenishing the £5 the shekel bump man on David Morrell's corny Cuban looking ass. Salute, General. Yeah, no doubt about it. Anyway, whoops. Leaked text messages, folks. Not that bad, people. So, we got some breaking news right now regarding Canelo Carrot Top Alvarez. Unfortunate news, in fact. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. I didn't even get round to covering the news. The initial news, I think I might have talked something about it last week. It came out, Crawford Canelo's on. We know that Canelo got flown in for the take it, the Desert Diddy special. Flew his ass in, flew his orange looking ass right the way in there for him. Put him on, babash, doing the business and that. Then it comes out on Ring Magazine, which is Turkey's front. It's in talks. And then this came out like 2 days ago. How many days ago? The 4th. 2 days ago this came out. Canelo Alvarez versus Crawford will be held at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Ring has learned. The Riyadh season event will be the first ever boxing card held at the stadium. It's locked in. I'm Semelong. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When the fight starts, I'll be full blown engorged mandingable. When this news came out, I was like, again, Semelong. If this news didn't get you, man, Semelong, you bugging. You're lying to yourself. This is wicked fight. Who was it who was hating? Oh, some people was listen. Oh, Canelo should be fighting Benavidez. Maybe he should, maybe he shouldn't. But you're lying to yourself if you're saying there's not more or less a similar level of intrigue here. For me, it's more or less the same. What would I rather see, to be honest? If I had to pick a fight, what would you pick? If I had to pick a fight, Crawford Canelo or Crawford Benavidez? The argument is, well, Benavidez might punch his head in for him. Crawford's never going to punch his head in. Never. It will never look like, I'll bet my life on it, for whatever that's worth, which is not a lot, but still. It's not going to look like, a lot of these men getting it twisted. Oh, woo. It's going to look like Spence too. No. Spence is leaky deaky. Yeah, Spence off that moody Texas hooch as well. We know that, documented. Errol Spence is off to moody Texas moonshine. Stop playing. Yeah, he be drinking way too much. He loved that liquor. His head's in the bottle. That's the truth. We know that, documented. So, he was finished. I'm not taking anything away from Crawford. That was a great performance. Canelo's not no Errol Spence. That's what he's not. Too big, too strong. Too big, too strong is what Carrot Top will do to this dude. Yeah, he turns his little ass out. You know the Mexican man ain't playing in jail. And that's what Canelo would do to this dude's ass. Pause. Turn his ass out, for sure. Anyway, the news came out, I was gassed. And then this comes like a few hours ago. Any second now, YB. Oh, where is it? Here we go. Bash! 11 hours ago. The planned Canelo versus Crawford fight is now off, the Ring magazine has learned. Here's the full article, which, to be honest, don't tell you nothing, which is odd, given it's Turkey's outfit. Here we go. They cannot even, I mean, what writers have you employed here? I'm not being funny. Yeah. A source has advised, Moody, come on, people. In the age of AI, what programs these cats using, man? As source has advised, the Ring, what? A source has advised the Ring. Oh my god, these guys can't speak a lick of English, man. Wait a minute. A source has advised the Ring magazine. A source has advised the Ring. Sorry, that's my fault. This next bit was my fault. I'm cross-eyed. Illiterate, you could say. A source has advised the Ring that the anticipated super middleweight showdown between Saul Carrot Top Alvarez and Terence Crawford is now cancelled. Alvarez 34, Crawford 37 were expected to meet on a September date at Allegiant Stadium. Allegiant, whatever that is. Allegiant Stadium. Crawford holds the WBA, blah, 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 blah. Rest is waffle. And then they leave you with a cliffhanger saying, more details will be provided when obtained by the Ring. So I do have to say this off the rip. I'm starting to question what these Ring cats really know. Right? if you knew it was completely over, if we're assuming the Ring magazine's getting their plugs from Turkey himself, you'd have thought Turkey would have told him, hey man, don't put this news out there that it's going to the Allegiant Stadium because it's looking like it's in a flop, right? If they were getting the bars from Turkey, they wouldn't come out saying the fight is off and then not provide no context. We know Turkey love to talk. Yeah, Turkey wrote a big thesis airing out Canelo. Literally, it was like this long a few months ago. When Canelo in August was originally turning down the fight, Turkey came out airing his ass. So let me show you now just quickly. As I make my way to 8 minutes, you best believe it. Turki Alalshikh on Canelo X. It was on X. Proper aired him out. Here we go, this is it here. Watch these bars here. These bars are completely brutal and X-rated. So we've got... Here we go. I heard what... This is Turkey's official page. I heard what Canelo said, that he respects me, but he doesn't like the way we do business. As for him respecting me, it doesn't matter to me if he does or not. As for the way I do business, I know why he doesn't like it, because I only target big fights at fair prices. So of course, anyone who likes easy fights won't like that. And I know how this is the biggest violation, seriously. This is the biggest promotional violation in the history of mankind. I've never heard a promoter mug off a fight like this before. Truly X-rated. You ready here? He says, and I know how he feels after losing to Bivol. Oh, so he's been looking for easier fights ever since. Wow. Also, I'm not the one who's afraid of fighting Benavidez or Crawford. This is mad. Muggled him off. I never thought the fight would happen after these bars. I never thought, that's just mad. Therefore, I knew Canelo was wasting our time and making excuses with big amounts of money that can't be paid. So yeah, you heard them. So my point is, Turkey, he ain't shy with the words. So again, if the premise is these Ring magazine dudes are getting the bars from Turkey, how is it that he's double faked the masses with this first post? Oh, it's at the stadium, right? If the bars are coming from Turkey, he'd say, hey man, it is at the stadium, but don't put it out there because woo 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 woo, it might go left. He'd know. If you're in a business transaction, you know if things are going left. There's no point mentioning a stadium's like when it's like bash, locked in. To be fair, the fact they even came out a week ago and said it's locked in, it's like, that's very unusual. And this bit here, the Terence Crawford fight is now off, and all they give us is it's off, and by the way, more details will be provided when obtained by the Ring. Now, the good news is, hopefully, the reason there's no details that have been provided, is this some sort of a negotiation tactic by Turkey? Has Canelo tried to play some fugazi games, and Turkey's saying, listen man, I'll pull the plug right now if you don't get in line. The deal's a deal. I tend to believe, we haven't heard of Turkey pulling no fast tricks on no one. So I tend to believe what's happened is some moody things come from Canelo's camp. They've asked for more money, or they've asked for them on reasonable terms, and Turkey's saying, listen, Turkey's flexing his power as such and showing Canelo, listen man, I'll pull the plug right now, bro. I ain't playing with your little orange looking ass. That's what I'm not doing. We can cancel this whole thing right now. And at the same time, Turkey's hoping the fight does continue. Hence why he hasn't come out putting all the details out there yet. He's waiting until it's proper 6 feet under dead. Yeah? Nails in the coffin dead. That's what he's waiting for. So that's the little bit of glimmer of hope we have. Because I do want to see this fight. It's almost frustrating as well that we got cucked. Yeah, I know I spend a lot of my time cucking you man with titles and cucking you man with the thumbnails, but I'm trying to eat, man. I'm trying to eat. What's these man's excuse for cucking the masses? The little bit of pleasure we have in life, watching two mandingables running around the place, punching their heads off. it's the like, oh yeah, it's on, oh, it's not on. And it does, I do have to say, it is reminiscent of old boxing. The new boxing I've got accustomed to with Turkey has been, you hear about it, and you get it. You hear about it, bash, it's on. The old time one was like, you hear the hot people. In 1 year, in the old times before Turkey, the pre-Turkey times, you'd hear about 10 banging fights a year on the rumour mill. This guy versus this guy. And if you was lucky, you'd get one of them 10 that was thrown out there seriously. 10 times a year you'd come on here saying, this is being talked about, that's being talked about, woo, 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 woo. And then boom, you don't get none of them most of the time. And maybe if you get some, maybe whoever it is throw you some scraps to give you one good one. Yeah, once the guy's been knocked out. So the fight you're looking forward to for years, once one of the guys has been knocked out, you might get it 2 years from that point. If that makes sense. They build these fights up, one dude get knocked out, and then all of a sudden the fight gets made. Mayweather Pacquiao, for example. When Pacquiao was red hot, I think Floyd would have boxed Pacquiao up in his prime, by the way. But I'm just saying though, when Pacquiao was washed up, the fight's on. Like Donkey Kong. Where I'm going with this is to say that I hope we know Turkey has interests in Ring Magazine. And this little escapade I've showed you here, where it's on, and we've got a stadium, now it's off, and there's no details. I hope it doesn't become a media circus. Turkey's like, well, I can just cuck people and make headlines and pull and chop and chive. And to be fair, I'm not saying it's a big master plan by Turkey. What I am saying is, if I was advising Turkey, don't be messy, man. To be fair, it's not like he came out and gave us a date exactly, but there's no denying. Well, I'm assuming actually. Is it possible the Ring Magazine isn't actually being directed as such by Ring Magazine? And they actually have sources that aren't Turkey? Is it the case that Ring Magazine's independent completely? And all these news events, the reason they're so messy is because it isn't operated by Turkey. And there's random sources saying it's on and it's off. I can't believe Turkey would have... That's in his name though, isn't it? I can't believe Turkey's going to have Ring Magazine posting fake news, right? That just don't make no sense. And if there was any fake news on Ring Magazine, he'd be the one making it fake. I'd like to believe, right? There's no way the fight's on the air and Turkey said, or Turkey hasn't said. Wait there. There's no way it's a source outside of Turkey. I don't believe the Ring Magazine's running stories from random Tom, Dick or Harry's from the boxing media. There's no way Ring Magazine, this organisation here, are ringing Coogan. Oh, Coogan, who's fighting tonight, mate? Who's fighting? Are they fighting in September, mate? Yeah, mate, yeah. There's no way they're doing that, man. They're getting the pattern from Turkey himself. It's Turkulency. That's what they're doing. So if they're getting the pattern from Turkey himself, come on, bro, tighten up. Tighten up, man. Wait until it's proper locked in. Which it might have, maybe it was half locked in. How can, thinking of stadiums. They must have signed something at that point, surely. Now, the other situation here is, which is possible, we know the Jake Paul news was put out. I did a video on that, Canelo versus Jake Paul. So is it possible Canelo had 2 negotiations going on, which, at face value, from what the unwashed masses know and understand, it wasn't contradictory. Why? Well, one was in May, the Fake the Cake Paul fight was in May, and Crawford was in September. However, is it possible Canelo was doing them negotiations and has decided, Jake Paul's maybe got a 2-fight deal? I'm just speculating, right? Yeah, I'm fighting him in May, and actually it makes more sense for me to punch that yuppie up. Easy work, easy money, easy shmoneys. In May and September this year, and Canelo's rang Turkey saying, hey man, I'm fighting this chump for the next 2 fights. So maybe we can do something in 2026. And Turkey said, whatever man, you're taking the piss now. And deaded him off. Who knows? Or is it possible the May fight with Jake Paul is undermining the Turkey fight? Contractually speaking. Canelo can't be engaged in 2 contracts at once and he's opted for the Jake Paul fight. To be honest, if he fights Jake Paul, yeah. I'm not saying it's going to have the competitive intrigue that Crawford would, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to lie. I'm going to take it. What I will say is, though, if Carrot Top Alvarez does not fight Crawford, Benavidez, or Fake the Cake Paul next, for me, them 3 are interchangeable. And you might look at me sideways saying, IB, the fake Paul fight. I want to see his head get punched off. Seriously. So I have either one of them 3 works for me, to tell the truth. It's very difficult for me to differentiate. Yes, I'd probably put Crawford Canelo at top, but the rest is like, it's close. I'm not going to cry and say, this is dead. That's what I'm not going to do. If I get to see Canelo in there stalking fake Paul and watching him shit himself, because he will shit himself. Seriously, mate, he will shit himself. He will. When Canelo's in there, stalking him like this, and fake Paul's big heavy legs start getting tired, and he's goosed, and Carrot Top's just stalking him, his back end will fall out. He didn't want to fight with Timmy Fumbles, man. He didn't want to fight with Timmy Fumbles. He could nothing but Canelo. That's what he's not going to do. So that for me is worth something. That's what it's worth. But again, this is all speculation. It could be the case that he's not going to fight Crawford, he's not going to fight Fake Paul, and he's fight a bum in a month. And to be honest, if the Crawford fight doesn't happen, I'm sceptical of the Jake Paul fight anyway, and I won't be shocked if it's a bum in a month. I think it'll be Canelo versus William Scully. Yeah? That cross-eyed looking Nick. That's what it'll be. Yeah? Mr. Cross-Eye. That's who would be fighting, if I was to bet, knowing what Canelo's like now. Ever since Bivol broke his ass, he ain't been the same since. Yeah? He ain't been the same since. But this is a shame either way. I'm hoping and praying the reason the news hasn't come out, all the details and whatnot, is because Turkey's working in the background, man. But it will be a travesty. I really was. Honestly, of all the fights this year, this is up there, to be honest. I can't think of one. I'd even argue, Crawford versus Canelo for me is up there with Dubois versus Usyk. To be honest, maybe even because we've seen Dubois Usyk before, albeit potentially on different terms, but still, that really is intriguing for me. It's my favourite matchup. You got the pressure fighter and someone who's little in the back but supposed to be magical. It's like the best of both worlds. Both got pound for pound skills, right? Man, please, all the other dead fights, cancel the other dead fights, man. Don't try and watch that rubbish. I'd rather cancel Eubank versus Ben 10 times. If I had the choice between watching Eubank versus Ben 10 times or this once, I'm picking this once every time. To be honest, if I had the choice to watch Tyson Fury, AJ, probably Usyk as well, to be honest. I know what Usyk can do, so I don't need to watch him no more. But this one here, this is unique. Usyk's completed the game, really, so there's no more intrigue there. Not his fault. This is intrigue, though. Crawford's chasing greatness, and let's see if, to some extent, Canelo can vanquish their Mayweather demons. The slick little dude demons that he got back in, what year was it, 2014 or 2013? When Mayweather boxed his head off. Yeah, this could have been, and people were already making comparisons. Oh, if Crawford does a job on Canelo, it will prove he's better than Mayweather. I think there is some weight in that. Why? Well, Mayweather fought a dude who was 21 and drained down to his boots. Yeah, coming in 152. Sucked down to his boots, and even if he wasn't weight drained, he still was only 22. And there's no denying Canelo improved. Canelo's biggest jump was after Golovkin 2. That's when he transformed into, okay, I'm marching people down now. That's when his best came after that. And probably ended with Bivol, essentially. It went out the window since then. He fell off since Bivol. But still, even though Canelo's fell off, I believe the Canelo of today, at 168, as of 2025, is still better than the one that fought Floyd, who was 22. Sorry. That's what I believe. Much more experienced. He learnt from Mayweather as well, to be fair. He learnt some little tricks and whatnot. Got experience from that fight. He's more experienced, full stop. And yeah, Crawford's got to come up 2 weight divisions, essentially. At least, I mean, it's knocking on 3 weight divisions from 147. He's only had 1 stinker fight at 154. But yeah, anyway, people, listen. I'm just praying now. That's all we can do is pray at this point, folks. All we can do is pray that the sports masters that rule over us can put this one back on. Because I really was buzzing for it. I had an underlying buzz, to be honest. And it's popped my bubble. So please, man, Carrot Top, get your... It's not Turkey. Turkey's not playing games. He's made loads of big fights. Commercially speaking, bigger than this one, to be honest. I don't know. Usyk versus Fury is probably as big, depending on how well it does on the US market. It's similar levels, let's call it that. This fight probably is. I don't know. Crawford's not known for... No one knows Crawford. That's the truth. Outside of Nebraska, Omaha, no one knows his ass. That's the people. No one knows him. So Canelo's got a big name. Crawford's got a cult, hardcore boxing following. Similar, really. Fury and globally, or in the States, this is bigger than Fury and Usyk, but globally, they're probably similar. Edging more towards Fury and Usyk, maybe. It's close, anyway. So it's not Turkey. This is Carrot Top. It's not Crawford either, I wouldn't have thought. Crawford ain't got no power. He a taker. Yeah? He Meek Mills at the Diddy party in this conversation. Yeah? If Diddy and Meek Mills was Canelo and Crawford's Meek all day and night. He taking it. Whatever Canelo offering, Crawford got to take. Take it. That's a documented fact. So Canelo, as we know, he's probably, I don't know what, has he got another deal? Is he itching for more money? Has he got cold feet? We don't know. But it's a shame to get this far in negotiations. I would have bet at this point, when they're talking about stadiums and that, it's like, oh, it's done. It's done. Man. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this, some people stop it.